What's up guys, my name is Ace, and yesterday we got some pretty crazy news for the Call of Duty franchise, and this is apparently they are actually going to be skipping Call of Duty 2023. Now this comes from a report from Jason Schreier at Bloomberg, which is historically a very reliable source of information when it comes to industry news. So this isn't just some random leaker or rumors floating around, this does appear to be quite legitimate. And he does go on to say that next year's offerings will include a new free-to-play game as well as content for Warzone 2 and this year's Call of Duty, which is the sequel to Modern Warfare 2019. We'll just call it Modern Warfare 2 throughout the rest of the video. We don't know if that's actually what it's going to be called. Although I should also mention Activision released this statement, which says, "We have an exciting slate of premium and free-to-play Call of Duty experiences for this year, next year, and beyond. Reports of anything otherwise are incorrect. We look forward to sharing more details when the time is right." Now, this doesn't directly contradict any of the reports from Bloomberg. This was a very vague PR statement from Activision, and they didn't specifically state that in 2023 we are getting a normal, as they call, a premium release Call of Duty game. So with that in mind, I still generally lean toward trusting this Bloomberg article, and that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. It looks like Modern Warfare 2, or whatever they decide to call it, is going to have a full 2-year life cycle, and this means Treyarch is going to get an extra year of development for their next Call of Duty title, which is reportedly going to be launching in 2024. And I wanted to talk about that aspect first. This is actually the thing I think I'm most excited for when I heard this news, is the fact that apparently Treyarch is not going to get screwed over once again with their dev cycle, because with their past 2 games, all reports have indicated that they have been getting screwed over pretty hard. With Black Ops 4, apparently they had to pivot and transition into making a battle royale, which is Blackout. They had to throw that together in a year, which means they had to scrap their campaign, and it pulled some of the focus away from multiplayer as well. And then with Cold War, that was supposed to be Sledgehammer and or Raven's year to make a standalone Call of Duty game, but Treyarch had to be thrown in there to take over that project and create Cold War in a very short period of time as well. So they haven't had a full uninterrupted dev cycle for their past 2 Call of Duty games, and it looks like that's finally going to be changing. And I'll be the first to admit, I'm at least a little bit of a Treyarch fanboy. I do lean in the direction of Treyarch CODs. I just feel like they have a much better grasp over solid gameplay design over any of the other studios. That's not to say that I feel they do absolutely everything better than Infinity Ward or Sledgehammer, for instance. But if we're just looking at the gameplay itself, like map design and spawn design, for instance, I feel like Treyarch is head and shoulders above the other studios. So like I said, I think this is the part I'm most excited for, even though I'm a bit bummed out we have to wait longer for the next Treyarch game. Hopefully, we're going to be getting an incredible title in 2024. As for this year's Call of Duty game, like I said, we'll just call it Modern Warfare 2. I'm definitely excited for it, especially since it is just by default going to be a very popular Call of Duty game, simply because it is a sequel to Modern Warfare 2019, which was a very popular title, and people have been craving a modern setting Call of Duty as well. But as pretty much all of you will know, for anybody that follows the channel and has been for quite some time, the gameplay of Modern Warfare 2019 didn't appeal to me at all. It's the only Call of Duty in the franchise where I actively disliked its multiplayer experience. And this does make me a little bit nervous. However, a lot of the leaks and rumors that have been floating around have stated that they have learned several lessons from the gameplay of Modern Warfare 2019, and changes will be made to reflect that. What those changes are, we don't know exactly. So I still have my skepticism here. I'm not all aboard the hype train or anything, but I am excited to see what they're going to be bringing, and I am excited that we're once again going to be having a very popular Call of Duty game coming this year. As for the fact that it's going to be having a 2-year cycle, this does make me a little bit nervous. I think understandably so, because we're just not used to this in the Call of Duty franchise. So there are a lot of very valid questions and concerns about doing a 2-year cycle, because for many people, they're burnt out on the current COD 5 or 6 months after it releases. So if that happens again, what do you do for the rest of the time while you wait for the next Call of Duty game? Do you go out and play other games and other franchises, or do you go outside or something? I don't really know, but both of those sound terrifying to me. But jokes aside, how are they going to keep players engaged and interested in the current COD for 2 full years when history has shown that they often struggle to keep players interested for even 6 months out of the year? How they decide to handle this, I think, is one of the biggest keys to whether or not this is going to be a good decision for the franchise. Does this mean they're going to be drip feeding content harder than they ever have? So they're going to be withholding a bunch of stuff at launch and then slowly releasing it over the course of 2 years? Or are we going to start with an incredible product and then they're just going to expand on that and give us essentially bonuses on top of that in order to keep us engaged? I really hope we see more of the latter there. I don't want to see a really long drip feed of content where we have to wait many months to get features and content that we would normally just have access to day one in older Call of Duty games. But when it comes to all of that, I haven't really made my mind up on it because we just don't know what's going to be happening. We don't know what to expect and how they're going to be handling this. So I'm absolutely keeping an open mind with this, and I hope it turns out great. But again, since it is such a massive change and it's something that's unprecedented for the franchise, I will be maintaining a healthy level of skepticism at the same time. At the very least, when it comes to Modern Warfare 2, they've actually had a full, uninterrupted, as far as we're aware, development cycle. And also, apparently, it's all hands on deck with this game at the moment. There have been lots of rumors floating around that basically all of the Call of Duty studios, or almost all of the Activision studios, are currently working very hard on this year's Call of Duty game, and there's a lot of crunch going on right now. So I truly believe they are trying to make this the best Call of Duty of all time and really put everything they've got into it, because they will have to rely on this for 2 full years, so it better be good. Could you imagine Vanguard for 2 full years? The franchise would suffer greatly if that were the case. And this is where I want to share my personal thoughts and hopes for this next year's Call of Duty game. As I said, I wasn't a fan of Modern Warfare 2019's gameplay, but for many people, especially a lot of the more casual players, it was the best Call of Duty game of all time. So it really ended up being a very polarizing game where some groups of players felt completely alienated as if the game were actively trying to push them away, whereas other groups were extremely happy because the game catered to exactly what they were looking for. And honestly, I'm really happy for those people that really enjoyed it and had a great time with it. The problem is though, with the next Call of Duty game lasting for 2 full years, I don't think they can afford to be as polarizing as they were with Modern Warfare 2019. I think they do have to offer a little bit of something for everyone when it comes to their core gameplay. Otherwise, with that 2-year cycle, they risk losing people forever from the franchise. If we get 2 years of a Call of Duty that some players despise, they may never come back to the franchise. So that's my number one hope with this Call of Duty game, is they're willing to make some concessions and compromises. I'm not asking for the game to be fully catered to me and everything that I want, and I'm fine with it having a bunch of gameplay elements that resemble Modern Warfare 2019. Having said that though, if they essentially copy and paste the gameplay style from Modern Warfare 2019, I may end up having to move on to a different franchise. I don't think I could take 2 full years of that sort of gameplay. And this is why I'm hoping for at least some compromises on their end. I still want the people that loved Modern Warfare 2019 to love Modern Warfare 2. I just also want to be able to enjoy the game alongside them and have a great experience with it. And I'd love for the game to be far more rewarding than Modern Warfare 2019 when it comes to improving as a player and playing the game in the higher levels of play. This means better map design and a different approach to map design compared to Modern Warfare 2019, a massive improvement to the spawn system, hopefully much better footstep design as well. So either have the loud footsteps like we had in Modern Warfare 2019, but give the option to have dead silence as a perk, not a field upgrade, or just balance those footsteps a lot better and tone them down significantly to the point where you can't rely on them as your primary source of awareness, which results in very one-dimensional gameplay. These are the top 3 things I would say that are directly related to the gameplay itself that I'd love to see at the very least some compromises on. They aren't the only things I disliked about Modern Warfare, but these are the main points that really could have drawn me into Modern Warfare a whole lot more, but instead, the way they decided to handle them, it just pushed me away more than ever with COD. Now, on top of that, a nice bonus would be an adjustment to their matchmaking algorithm and how they decide to matchmake, as well as the return of persistent lobbies, so you can stay in the same lobbies. I know I've beaten that horse to death way too much over the years, but they're still very important elements for me. And this section's about me sharing my opinion. You guys are welcome to share your opinion in the comment section below. And this is where I want to hear from you guys down below. What do you think about this apparent transition with Call of Duty this time around, where Modern Warfare 2 is going to be lasting for 2 full years, and we won't be seeing the next Call of Duty after that until 2024? Do you think this is a good move for the franchise? Or are you nervous about this? Do you think this could be a bad move? Just let me know all of those thoughts and why you think that in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.